back to Robin Bits and Pieces. This week is about farm feeding hacks. If you've been following along, I've been working on creating a hobby farm. I do totally understand why they say only to start with one animal at a time. It has been crazy busy. We built the building, the fences, rabbit cages. I started with three types of animals: rabbits, chickens, and goats. And I did not have my structures in place, which made that even worse. But I wanted to figure out some sort of way I could hold hay for the goats while they were in their stalls. And I saw on YouTube where somebody had used one of those bins that you mix cement in. They're about $10 a piece at Home Depot. It was way bigger than I needed. I wanted something just the right size to fit on the door. And I was just trying to figure out what the heck I could use. I thought about a plastic bin like this and cutting the top out in it and attaching it to the gate so that they could get the hay this way. And I thought, why do I want to tear up a totally good tote? Then I thought about a stackable storage unit. It's already open, but I couldn't find any bigger than this. I bought these at, I think, Salvation Army. And if you want to buy bigger ones, you spend quite a bit of money on them and have to get them through Amazon. Then I thought about a wire crate, not a wire crate, but a wire basket that you put letters and stuff in. But it really wasn't deep enough. And I only had one. So if you watch this video, I'll show you what I ended up coming up with. I'm going to upcycle this old pet carrier to hold the goats' hay. I saw somebody else's YouTube where they had used the pan that you mix cement in, attached it to some wire, and then zip tied it to it and cut a little flap at the top. Without the door and only using half the pet carrier, don't have to cut a flap. When I was raising puppies, they had chewed the little lip that goes around this, and I just took some cutters and cut that area off, and I'm going to zip tie it to their little pins. By the way, a little hint: dog toenail clippers do great for cutting zip ties. I'm going to zip tie this right here to the fence, and that way I can put the hay in the top and they can eat it from the other side. So you can see from this side, they can get it through the wire. It'll keep it up off the ground. And it's great for repurposing a pet carrier that I was just going to take to the dump. Now my second hack was, how do I hold my rabbits' hay so that it doesn't drop through, and if I set it in the cage they were pooping on it or scratching it out. And you'll see what I came up on this one. Something to hold the hay for my rabbits without them pooping on it and it getting knocked down. What I've done is I've taken some 2x3 fencing and I've cut it for the dimensions I want. In my dimensions, I want it 2 deep and 3 wide, and then I left the wires on the edges to poke through the fencing on their cages so I could bend it over. And this is what I come up with. What I've done is I've lined these pokey areas on my little basket out on a parallel, and then I bend them over with pliers. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I'll show you the end product and it'll make more sense. If the little prongs on the wire fencing do not hold, which I've had a few of them that have pulled them out, they must have really tugged at the hay or it was empty and they wanted more. What I ended up doing was cutting the prongs off and only making it 2 deep, 3 wide, leaving it the same way. And I used hog rings and I just attached it to the inside of I just attached it to the inside of their cages, and it's working great for me. And my last hack was making a chicken feeder out of a 5-gallon bucket. I watched a video and the gentleman had taken 3-inch PVC elbow, cut a hole in the bucket, and then put a cap on it and cut it straight across so that they could not lose any extra feed. And it's like, all right, you got to take a drill, you got to drill through it, you got to get a hacksaw or a cutting blade and try to cut that out. And there's a real good chance that you're going to mess them up, and they're not cheap. So I took a 2.5-inch hole saw and used it at the top of the cap, which left the lip, and it turned out easy. You can watch that next. I wanted to point out I'm in the process of making a chicken feeder out of a bucket, and I've seen them make them where they use the PVC pipe and then put the end on, but I've seen them cut it straight across here and then leave a little lip so that they don't waste the bird feed. What I did is, this is a 3-inch pipe and this is a 2.5-inch hole saw, which still leaves the lip here, and it was much easier to cut than the way I saw on the video. I hope these videos are helpful. I've got one coming up that I'm going to talk about my top videos and what my channel has in store. Mostly I love to upcycle, recycle, repurpose. I like to think about something upside down, inside out, backwards, how I can use it differently. And yes, that's a very important part of homesteading because things cost. You know, the cost of startup for this was feeders and bowls and getting the things I need because I didn't have any of them. But I did use bread pans for the goats' pellets. I drilled holes in it and zip tied it to the fence. I got them for $1 a piece at the dollar store, which is really cheap. So you need to think about things that you can do and budget and buy cheaper. And as I said, my next video, I'm going to talk about why I'm doing the channel, where my channel may lead. I do still plan on doing upcycling, repurposing, and those types of things. And now that it's getting cold out, I'll probably be doing some more things inside. But basically, I'm more to a frazzle this summer. It was, you know, work. I actually lost 11 pounds over the summer. I was working so hard. So I'm going to kind of slow down. I do have, my oldest son bought a new house and been helping him with that. And I did shoot a little bit of video, and that may be coming up. So be sure and like, subscribe, and share, and I hope you enjoy these videos. Go ahead and leave a comment below. I love getting comments. See you in 2 weeks.